Hi, I'm Don Zinn, Managing Partner and Founder of Exigent Search Partners in Terrytown, New York. We're a national boutique retained search firm with partners all around the country. We were founded in 2010 and we're growing rapidly. We have about 10 people now. We are seeing the economy pick up and our revenues are probably going to be about double to triple this year what they were last year, which is a good sign for everybody because it means that we're hiring again, people are moving again, and the economy is moving forward. I just spent the last hour and 20 minutes or so with Ted Miller and his CEO Key Advisory Group, speaking with them about really not just hiring and recruiting, which is what my business is about, but really about best practices in building organizations and how to build the most effective and optimal organizations. And we started with how to look at finding the right people, and I think we sort of shook up people out of their comfort zone for them to realize that there's more to this than meets the eye, and that as CEOs of small companies, every single hire is incredibly precious and important, and that it's worth taking the time to do it right the first time, and that there's a tendency to hire the first person who walks in the door that meets minimum qualifications, where what we really should be doing is something much more exhaustive than that, and where we really need to be building a process model internally in our company that forces us to look at, first of all, what are our requirements and what do we really need? And it isn't necessarily so that we need the exact same thing that we hired the last time out of the box. We should take the time. Every time we look to make a new hire, we have a brand new opportunity to redefine our company and a position, and we should take the time to do that. Number two, we need to make sure everybody in the company understands what it is we're looking for. So we need to write down what it is we're looking for. Number three, we need to understand what are the attributes that a candidate must have. And must needs to mean must, and they really need to have it. And what are the nice to haves and the like to haves that are in addition to that? And that must have list needs to become condensed so we can find human beings who are actually capable of meeting those requirements. And then we got to build an interview process that will uncover the answers, and we have to be attentive to what we call critical failure indicators and the red flags that come up. And if a red flag comes up for any reason, whether it be in how the individual will relate to clients or people on the outside, how they'll relate to peers, or how they'll relate to me, the manager, if there's a red flag or a red light, we need to stop, do not pass go, do not let them get through the process, even if we try to convince ourselves otherwise. And we need to take responsibility for making the hard decisions and for eliminating people that aren't going to fit. And in the end, we talked about how the skill matching part of finding the right people is the easy part of the job because we all know how to evaluate skills, although we talked about how difficult it is in the world of technology to do that. It's still fairly easy to look at skills, and where the real art of making the right hire is understanding if a person's a cultural fit and how to look at them from a behavioral perspective and whether they'll fit with the group. So I think what we really did here was we established a process and we painted a picture for these business owners that will allow them, whether they use an external group like us or do it internally, to really employ best practices in hiring people, because it's ultimately about building a great and effective organization. And we all set out to hire A players, and then we end up settling. And certainly our perspective is that, especially for small businesses where turnover, the opportunity cost is huge, we really need to get it right the first time. And in order to do that, we need to know what we're looking for, and then we go out and implement the process and hopefully make good decisions. If in the end, it's a hire that they're not going to make frequently, then maybe they want to consider going with an outside firm to help them, and they need a firm that's a trusted advisor and not just transactional. But a lot of the skills we bring to the table are things that are trainable and that our clients can do. They just need to take the time to do it and then really do the process well. I think it was an effective session. I think it's a good group of CEOs in there. I think we all learned from it, and I appreciate Ted giving me the opportunity to address it with the group.